Hey everyone, welcome to Fault Summits. We're a history podcast about the American West. My name is Mason Orlando. Today with me, as always, are my lovely co-hosts, the wonderful Jessley.
Hello, lovelies.
And my favorite ragamuffin, Marcelo Aguilar.
Howdy, y'all. Yeah, I couldn't really know. I couldn't figure out how to get that. Yeah, I was like, I don't know, ragamuffin. I just thought of like a child with like a cowboy hat.
I liked it. It works. So today we are going to be talking a story from my hometown and Marcelo's current town, San Diego, California. I know Jess knows a little bit about what we're going to be talking about. So, do you remember when you were a kid and somebody took a tank on the road?
Yeah, I sure do.
All right. So, we are going to be talking about that today.
Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Rest in peace, Wiener Schnitzel. I remember that was.
Oh no, not the Wiener Schnitzel.
So imagine, this is for the audience that may not know. Imagine you've just had a very hard day of work. It's the mid-90s in San Diego, and you go to your favorite restaurant, Der Wiener Schnitzel, right there in Claremont, and you get 2 chili cheese dogs and a large Coke.
Chili cheese fries.
Chili cheese fries as well. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta get the fries.
You sit down and you're going to enjoy your delicious meal that you've earned with your toil all day. And all of a sudden, a big tank rolls by you and you're terrified. I don't know if this really happened to anyone, but a tank did drive by a Wiener Schnitzel in Claremont, which is a neighborhood of San Diego, California. And today we are going to be talking about how that happened.
About how said tank.
I'm so excited. This was like one of the greatest days I ever stayed home from school and got to see this video.
All right. So let's begin. Sean Nelson was born on August 21st, 1959, and grew up in the San Diego neighborhood of Claremont to a typical 1950s middle-class family. His friends and neighbors later described him as quirky and a bit odd, not dangerous, though. He ends up attending Madison High School, after which he joins the Army in 1978. And he was assigned to a tank training in Fort Knox, later serving as a tank crewman with an armored unit in West Germany. Now, strangely, the United States wasn't doing any fighting at the time. So after only 2 years of service with reported multifaceted disciplinary problems, Nelson was honorably discharged in 1980, which is also the same year the cinematic classic Stripes came out.
Oh, great
with Bill Murray.
Yeah, that the one with Bill Murray. But that's it. If you watch that movie, they're kind of spoofing the military in a way that would just be crazy today. But yeah, go see Stripes if you haven't, or don't. I may be remembering it wrong.
I mean, yeah, you don't see a lot of lighthearted comedies about the military now.
Yeah, but it's got Bill Murray in it. It's
a classic.
Yeah, it's a classic.
It's a good watch.
Yeah.
And what's his face? The guy from Ghostbusters is in it too.
Dan Aykroyd?
No,
the one with the glasses.
The one that passed that we should really know his name.
So bad.
Harold Ramis.
Harold Ramis.
Yes, thank you. Rest in peace.
Yeah. Egon. Gone too soon.
I know.
Gone
so
too
sad.
soon.
It was. But after the Army, he begins to create a pretty good life for himself, becoming a more than capable plumber. And he was pretty nice, so had a way with customers, and they would often request him by name. In 1984, he meets Susan Hellman. The two would later marry. So he was earning pretty decent money with a promising future. So the two settled down in a modest home on Willamette Avenue in Claremont area, and things were kind of normal for a while. Now, unfortunately, life kind of hit him pretty hard. He was rocked by a series of personal misfortunes. In 1988, Nelson's mom dies, and his friends say he took that pretty hard. Now, this was followed by a motorcycle accident that seriously injured his neck and back in 1990.
Oh, that had to have been rough.
Oh yeah, I mean it's the worst.
Yeah, I had a friend
tough series of events
back a long time ago that was a motorcycle enthusiast, and same thing happened. And I mean, thankfully he ended up making it through, but long story short, he ended up losing. He got very, very badly injured. That's all I'll say.
Oh God!
So yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, it's tough. Be careful out there on those bikes.
Oh yes.
Keep those helmets on.
Especially if you live in Florida.
Especially if you.
Oh yeah.
Just saying.
Nelson gets rushed to Sharps Memorial Hospital, which is on the 163 freeway across from Claremont. They do what they can. They do what they can, but he actually ends up getting into a fight with a security guard, claiming he was being held there against as well.
Oh gosh!
What a misunderstanding.
So he comes away from the hospital pretty angry and convinced that he had been mistreated by powers that be.
Sure. And at this point, he's kind of like a little delirious, a little out of it.
Yeah.
Was he just under the influence of?
We'll get to that for sure.
Okay. Well, I mean, if he's in the hospital, I'm sure they gave him medication. So.
Yeah. So I mean, the story and events are a little bit here and there and a little bit shaky. And as we continue, you'll figure out why that is.
Okay.
But he actually got so pissed about the whole the hospital holding him hostage. He filed a lawsuit seeking $1.6 million, accusing the staff of mistreatment, assault, battery, and false imprisonment. So the court rejects his case.
Those are the big ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Like, jeez.
So the court ends up rejecting his case for some reason, and in turn, the hospital countersued him for $6,600, which was just the legal fees and what he owed to the hospital. So I mean, but this did add like legal and financial burden to him. And so with the pain he had been suffering through, layered with the depression and the grief that he had over his family, he began to accelerate self-destructive behavior, a big one being substance abuse. Nelson had been known user of alcohols and drugs ranging from pot to surprise methamphetamines.
Yikes.
He went the fast route.
Yeah.
He went down the fast lane too hard.
Yeah.
So the fast lane, that works really well with this story. Even with the tragedy, accident, and tweaking, in 1991 he starts his own plumbing business, and for a blink things started to look like they were going to get back on track for Nelson. Sadly, though, that same year his wife files for divorce, citing his substance issues as her reason for leaving. The next year, Nelson's father passes, and the loss only adds to his self-destructive behavior. Around this time, neighbors described him as exhibiting increasingly strange behaviors, as he sometimes rode a bicycle around the neighborhood, appearing disheveled, and could be seen drinking or behaving erratically. At one point,
he just sounds like me when I was 22.
That's
pretty sure I did this. We did this together.
At 22.
Just described mine and Mason's apartment when we were living together.
Behaving erratically.
Yeah, erratically disheveled, riding a bicycle around. Like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So I mean, one thing we didn't do though, at one point during this time, during the friendly wrestling match, he sent his friend to the hospital because Nelson broke his back.
I guess it wasn't that friendly.
Oh,
yeah, they were really going at it.
Before or after they were kissing.
Oh, I mean,
Mason, and how many years have we known each other, you and I? 10, 15?
19.
19 years. Sorry, I really missed out on a lot of those. Yeah, I've never ever had an urge to wrestle you. No offense.
No. No, we met after that time where, I mean, I was never that guy. I was never a wrestling kid that would wrestle and like do horseplay
Just
with my friends. Like I was pretty keep your hands to yourself, you know?
yeah, I think I was just raised similarly.
Like
Just mind
it,
your own business and keep your hands to yourself.
like I think people kind of knew better than to just like let's play the
Start,
hit game with Mason
yeah, start
because he
just give
seems a
us,
little dodgy. Like
yeah, a little intense in that stare.
he keeps talking about the Claremont guy.
Yeah, exactly. He really knows a lot about this Wiener Schnitzel.
Oh no, he's talking about him again.
Oh boy.
But yeah, so I mean, so speaking of my childhood, so Claremont in the mid '90s was a neighborhood that had been hit pretty hard by the fall of the Berlin Wall. Let me explain.
Yeah,
What?
yeah. I'm curious
Hold
to
on.
know how.
It's like, did it
Yeah,
reach all the way there?
in a way, in a way. So
Okay, okay.
San Diego was able to develop from a sleepy desert coastal town into an economic power in the Pacific, due in large part to weapons manufacturing and military bases being there, the Navy, and of course the Marines.
I didn't know
Um,
that.
in fact, one could argue that the Cold War helped create modern San Diego. The United States battle of ideologies with the Soviet Russia demanded plane ship missiles and all sorts of other crap, and pretty much just military weapons in general. So companies like Conair, Lockheed Martin, General Dynamics, to name a few, expanded their operations in San Diego, and these defense companies would be the background of a booming city's economy, providing what seemed like endless opportunities for lower to upper middle class folks.
Hmm.
So it gave them enough money and stability to settle in one of the many new suburban areas that had been springing up since the end of World War II.
Okay, that makes better sense.
Yeah. So,
I just wasn't aware of the weapons manufacturing. That's
oh,
still kind of a surprise to me.
yeah. So when we were growing up around this time, that's when it was kind of, yeah, I wrote about it actually.
Huh.
So after the Iron Curtain was a thing of the past, the demand for these weapons decreased and defense jobs dried up, causing Claremont and other lower middle class neighborhoods to fall into decline. Some residents began to fall victim to substance issues, as is often the case when things kind of happen like this.
Yeah.
Depression.
Right.
Kind of sounds similar to some of the other stories that we've told before,
Oh
where
yeah,
about like the mining towns and the miners dip out, and everybody else is just
yeah.
left to their volitions. Yeah,
Yeah, and fortunately, San Diego had eggs in other baskets. So, but it was tough, really tough for a lot of people at the time.
yeah.
Right.
Um,
I could imagine.
Speed was a huge thing, was a big problem. This escalated a lot in the 80s and 90s, and the economic turns definitely did not help with that. So,
Yeah.
you had all these people that lived around Nelson when he begins to slide to substance abuse in the late 80s. He has plenty of people to hang out with and, kind of spiral downwards with, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, do you know if any of those companies are still there or not?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's to a lesser extent because, as I'm sure we're all aware, that we've ramped up manufacturing again.
Hmm.
But yeah, there's
Yeah.
still Lockheed Martin. There's still like General Dynamics. If you go into like the back of like Poway, California, that all used to belong to General Dynamics, and not me,
I
but
mean,
a friend.
like
Hmm?
all those like business park areas out there, like
Yeah,
behind Power, like all those big spaces.
if you
Yeah,
go if you go behind there, it's trespassing on federal property, so don't do it. But I know a friend that did it, and I was with him, and
allegedly.
Allegedly.
there is a But no, there's actually places where they used to test rocket engines and stuff. And so there's like
Mm,
launch pads for missiles and stuff. So there's always been that element of the military industrial complex or just weapons manufacturing and developing in San Diego ever since before World War II. It just really escalated when we became a superpower.
right. Okay. Oh, I lived here my whole life and I didn't realize that. Thanks, Mason.
Yeah, I mean that's why you got like what is it, Norco? Where do they build all the ships down there? It's all
It's all in. It's
yeah.
all connected.
Yep, it's
Hmm.
all part of the military industrial complex. But I digress. Okay, so in the grand tradition of this show, Nelson also had a gold mine.
Hmm. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So
Oh
they always have some kind of
gosh!
they always have a resource, huh?
In his house.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Friends and family noted that Nelson had long been interested in minerals, and sometime in late 1993 or early 1994, he was convinced that he was living over a rich deposit of gold and started building a pit in his
Oh
backyard.
Oh,
no!
okay. So he just thought, okay, so he's just crazy. Got it. The money or
Well,
the richness made him crazy.
hear him out, Marcelo.
Okay.
So he turned his jacuzzi into a sluice to sort through the dirt
Oh
um,
god!
and to find the treasure that would surely be there. So sure of the mine's success, he actually requests City Hall to grant him a mineral rights claim for the property. But the clerk
Uh,
there assured him that wouldn't be necessary and sent him on his way. So Nelson might have seen this as another example of the establishment pushing the little guy around. Um,
Well,
I got a question. Was he on meth at this point?
I mean,
how
That sounds like
what?
real. That sounds like real meth head behavior.
well, let's finish hearing about the mine. Maybe he finds
Okay,
something down there. Um,
which is meth head
Nonetheless,
in
he
history.
knew he knew he was going to be rich, so he pushed on, and the pit grew deeper. Soon, Nelson needed help, so he enlisted some of his friends, fellow users, to help him with his endeavor. Because he couldn't pay them because he hadn't found the gold yet, Nelson exchanged teaching plumbing for their help digging in the
I'll
mine.
teach you in trade.
Yeah, so he's teaching him a trade, win-win.
Yeah.
It went well enough for a bit, but eventually some of his workers started having doubts about there actually being any gold in the mine. So, not wanting the people to lose faith in the project, just till he can find gold, he buys some scrap gold from some neighborhood teens and places the gold in the walls of the mine
Gummy gold. Hell
Oh
yeah.
no!
to convince
You got
them
you got
to
you got to
convince
plant some
them
gold in the mine.
convince them the mine was still worth their effort.
See, I
Um,
got gold.
the mine was now a 20-foot shaft on his property.
Oh Jesus! Oh my god!
Just
So-
waiting to get cracked open.
The poor, I can only
Gold's
imagine
gonna start pouring
what
out.
the neighbors went through. Oh,
I mean, yeah, were they using like power tools or was it just like him and three guys like digging
Oh.
that thing with shovels?
We'll get into the tools.
Okay.
So we don't know if there was actually gold down there. There actually could have been. We'll never know because things came crashing down, and if you could believe it, someone somehow stole Nelson's tools and work truck,
Man.
causing him to lose the plumbing business. He somehow still had. It also
Wait, was he doing this like on his time off or like?
yeah,
did he,
no,
like,
he was running a plumbing.
This was a hobby. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
this is like his hobby.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had a lot of he was up a lot. Let's put
Yeah.
that way.
Very, very
Um,
awake.
So he had no tools. The mining becomes impossible. So even with the positive of his new girlfriend moving in, he
Oh.
began to downslide
What?
into more.
So in the middle of
depression
all
and
this,
more
he still
drug
found.
abuse. Oh
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
no,
he still
In the middle of
found
all this,
love.
he still found time to go
Yeah.
like go on a date and like meet somebody.
yeah. Remember
man.
that guy? He made time for himself
what-
to go find someone.
Dude, this is what happens when we got the internet. Like, look at all this time we could have been like achieving schemes. Waste our days.
I'm actually.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Uh,
I think I'd rather like do internet stuff all day than do
to
what
get into
Nelson
this
was
kind of.
doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if I ever start building a mine, I don't just stop me. Well, just
If you ever even
I need
contemplate
help.
starting something like that, I'm going to. I think I'm going to have to refer
Listen,
you to a few people.
you guys keep your complaints to yourself. If you ever see me building a mine, I just hope you wish me good luck.
True.
Just wear really good boots and
Yeah.
proper head
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. No,
underwear.
no, no, no. If I have like sandals and a mop, then definitely call like an official or something. But like
Yeah,
if
I'm
I have
definitely.
if it seems legit, just
Yeah,
wish
I'm
me luck.
definitely gonna send a welfare check to your house.
So, getting back to it, by the spring of 1995, he was on the verge of losing what little he had left after his girlfriend moved out and his home was near foreclosure. This kind of pressure would affect anybody, but add hard drug use, and things can get pretty next level.
Extra spicy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So on the evening of May 17th, 1995, he got into his Chevrolet van with the personalized license plate KANFIX, can fix, and drove
Nice.
to California Army National Guard Armory in San Diego near Mesa College. So he was shirtless and again looked disheveled, according to his neighbor who saw him leave the house hurriedly at around 6 p.m.
In his defense,
Military,
this is definitely a shirtless activity.
yeah. So he kind of just drives through the gate. Military personnel didn't really challenge him. He gets out of his van, so he breaks into a padlocked tank, and he couldn't get it started. So he jumps out, pops open a second one, and again no luck. So he popped in another one, and as they say, third time's a charm. And he started that bad boy up, and it rumbled over a chain link fence around 6:45.
Did he ever have any kind of training in this, or he just kind of,
So remember, he
It's just
was in
like
the army.
today's the day.
yeah,
He was a
it's like
tanker.
it's just like riding a bike.
He was in a tank crew in the army.
Okay, okay,
So
okay.
he did know what he was.
All right.
He did know
It's like
what
if
he
a
was
guy
doing.
knows, yeah. It's like if a guy knows how to drive a forklift and like shows up and is just like, worm. Like, okay,
Yeah.
got it.
But yeah, so Nelson had gotten his hands on a 31-foot long, 57-ton M60A3 Detroit-made tank. And once on the streets of Kearney Mesa, Nelson drove the tank like a battering ram. He rolled over cars parked along residential streets, crushed an entire RV, tore up traffic lights, and knocked down utility poles and fire hydrants, sending streams high into the air of water. If you've ever seen any of those like top 10 craziest car chases or top 10
That's where I saw,
pages,
yeah.
this will definitely usually was number one.
Yeah, this is the one that's where I saw it, is in like one of those like top 5 most amazing or whatever crazy videos.
Yeah.
There is, if you're interested, you can look up the footage on YouTube. It's all free from several different angles. Strong viewer discretion is advised on that one, though. So, with police and patrol cars following him helplessly, they weren't able to do anything to try to steer, except for try to steer the traffic away. So
Yeah,
they
at that
called
point,
in
like,
more.
what are you gonna do?
Yeah, so they called in more units and hoped the tank would eventually get stuck or break down. There was no practical way for officers on the ground to stop the combat vehicle. It weighed so much and would just shrug off small firearms.
I mean,
Um,
obviously the answer was get another tank to fight the first tank, right?
yes, but this was before the cops had been militarized by that. So the cops
Oh
didn't
yeah,
have
okay.
tanks yet.
Yeah, they didn't have their tank. They can fight the army tank. See who
Yeah,
wins.
Jesus Christ.
Missed opportunity.
Uh,
Thankfully, the tank's main gun and its machine guns had not been loaded, although it might not have been possible or easy if it was possible to both fire and drive a tank at once. I'm not a tanker. I really don't know. You're free to let us know.
Yeah, it's usually like
Despite,
a team of guys in there, right?
yeah, it's a crew. I'm pretty sure one guy drives and the others maintain and shoot the weapons, but I honestly don't know.
Send us an email at Fall Summits, how to drive a tank.
Please.
If you know how,
Let
us know.
We like feedback. Just, put more than like 3 words and just make sure they're not slurs. I mean, come on, be creative, guys. Don't mind being insulted, but, put some effort into it.
Yeah.
Despite
some wordplay in there.
Yeah. Despite the chaotic destruction, no civilians were physically injured during the 25-minute rampage, a fact that would later shape how people interpreted his motives.
I think for sure that's the reason why, like, I remember it so much, and like as a kid and not being like scared or anything, is like, oh yeah, he didn't hurt anybody, so it was cool.
Yeah.
He just knocked around a few cars.
Yeah, he was just having a tough day, and he was like, take this world. And, he just lived out a G.I. Joe dream.
With no shirt.
With no shirt.
Yeah, he wasn't wearing a shirt. He was rocking in the free world.
Hell yeah.
I mean,
cracking a beer.
Like, I remember when I was growing up, my dad was definitely one of those guys that would, like, go outside and do a lot of stuff with no shirt on. But
Would he drive a tank?
He would drive a tank.
If need be.
I mean, but Alabama...
He's got his shirt off. He's already ready to go.
I'm just saying, Alabama's really fucking hot in the summer.
Yeah.
So you gotta give him that.
So Nelson eventually took a off-ramp off Balboa Avenue onto the 163 freeway, where the tank continued southbound, taking some time to run into some bridge pillars in an attempt to knock it over, possibly. The chase was captured on video by news helicopters broadcasting live images of the massive tank carving through traffic in a modern American city. As he tried to cross the freeway medium not too far from Sharps Hospital, the hospital where he lost his $6.1 million lawsuit, and he tried to cross the barrier but got stuck on it, and one of the tracks slipped off. With the vehicle finally immobilized, Officer Paul Paxton and 3 other San Diego police officers climbed onto the tank. The hatch was in combat lockdown, meaning that it was secured from the inside. So the officers used bolt cutters to pry it open, which I kind of feel like tanks shouldn't be that easy to open. I feel like bolt
right? Yeah,
it just took bolt cutters to open it.
One of the guys just elbowed it really hard, and it just popped open like the fawns. It's just like, man, it's be a little tougher than that.
I guess in the heat of battle, like, it would be difficult to get the. Yeah, okay.
Well, all right. For all of our leftist listeners, just remember, bolt cutters will get you in a tank.
Is it like
allegedly?
Like Jaws of Life type
You learned it from the cop.
Was it like a Jaws of Life type of tool?
No, it was just bolt cutters.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just grab a pair of those.
It should not be that easy.
Jump on a tank, listeners. Let us know. Email us at allsummit.com.
Don't encourage people to jump on tanks.
You called me a ragamuffin, okay? I have to live up to the title.
We're bringing it back, ragamuffin.
Yeah. Little rascal ragamuffin.
Rascal ragamuffin.
When the hatch finally came free, officers shouted for Nelson to surrender. Instead, he tried to rock and spin the tank in a last-ditch effort to free it, ignoring the commands, fearing he might succeed and resume the rampage, possibly turn the tank the way and could crush a whole bunch of vehicles, because on the other side of the freeway, a whole bunch of vehicles had been stopped. So they were just kind of chilling on the freeway, and they were afraid he was going to, go over there and plow them over. Officer Rick Piner put a single shot into the suspect's shoulder, which penetrated his heart. Nelson died there in the tank. Later, toxicology reports showed his blood alcohol content was twice the legal limit for driving, suggesting further impaired judgment on top of his long-standing substance and mental health issues.
Oh, wow.
So
Nelson, driving a regular vehicle, but, he still had, I think a tank could, up you a little bit.
So Nelson doesn't leave a note, no manifesto. We have no clear explanation for why he chose to steal the tank. His motives remain officially unknown, leaving investigators to infer on his life. At once stable that spiraled down into destruction. For a week, one could see the large hole in the median where Nelson's tank got stuck and his life had ended. Mourners would brave running out into the freeway to leave flowers on the site. Some observers saw the rampage as a kind of public suicide, a way to force a confrontation he knew he would not survive, and others saw it as an act of revenge against a world he believed had cheated him, the hospitals, courts, employees, society that had watched him slide without catching him. One of his neighbors remembered him referring to Oklahoma City that had happened like a month before the time, the Oklahoma City bombing, as good stuff. Now, the police faced criticism afterward for the killing, stating that they didn't try to negotiate or use tear gas, but the prosecutors argued that they had little time and no safe options once he refused to surrender in a still potentially mobile tank. Military officials were also criticized for lack security at the armory. And absolutely,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
You would just think like, where are the guys? Like, you go back to the base, just cut back to them, and it's just two guys going like, "Oh man,
yeah,
we're going to be in big trouble for this."
You are guarding a facility with a ton. It's an armory. You're supposed to be armed,
they're supposed
guarding
to have guns. Yeah.
Could you imagine if they had cell phones back then?
Then we could have just watched them taking selfies.
So if they didn't have cell phones, like, what the hell were they doing?
So I looked into it, and like a lot of people at the armory had the day off, and so they had the skeleton crew there, which doesn't really sound like an excuse at all to me.
You would think that they would have like a guy set up to be like, you're the tank guy today. Like, today your job is the tanks. Make sure no one steals one of the tanks.
That is like you're you're
just the tank guy.
National Guard is on the building. Guard.
Yeah.
You know, word to focus on here. But the California National Guard units had to remove the tanks. There were dozens of them around Southern California to prevent any copycat threats. Now, financially, the Guard and government were held responsible for the damage to the property and infrastructure. Emotionally, the city was left with a surreal memory. Traffic reports that once mentioned fender benders now had to refer to an actual tank rolling down the freeway. So on that day, on the other side of the 163 freeway that the tank was about to get onto, cars were piled up for a long time, as I kind of said before. What I didn't say is that both my grandmother and my sister were stuck in that traffic.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, and my life, I can't help but think about how my life could have been different if he was able to jump over that median. Added to that, I used to watch my best friend practice baseball at the softball field by the National Guard post out there, and I would love to go by and see those tanks. And admittedly, I was like upset when they took them away.
Mm-hmm.
So do you remember what you were doing when that happened?
What I was doing? Oh, I was at my home in Poway, but I remember the next morning because my sister didn't come back from ballet and my grandma would have been taking her back. And I said, "Where's Aaron?" And my stepdad, Ed, he said, "Sit down. Something happened last night." And he told me the story I just told everyone now, which is crazy. And I remember going to school gleefully. I couldn't wait to talk about this with my friend because I was about 10. And when you're 10, you're pretty tone deaf to human suffering there. Some would say I still am. But that was my personal connection with the tank. So that's the end of Sean Nelson's last bender, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah. Check in on your friends, guys.
Yeah, please do.
Especially your friends who like meth. Tell them to quit doing meth.
But so there was a guy up in Granby, the Killdozer guy.
Oh, the Killdozer, yeah.
We might do an episode about that eventually.
That might have to be a couple of episodes.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to go into white guy
deep
why he was right.
No. I'm just I just don't want to do it. I got in a tank and decided to destroy my town because society treated me story back to back. That's all.
Yeah. Live, laugh.
Yeah.
Live, laugh, love, tank.
No, but we definitely are going to have to talk about that at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll break up the tank stories.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot how I ended this.
It's a new year. Come up with a new one.
Okay. Yeah.
It's new year, new us.
Well, thanks for listening to Fault Summits. We really appreciate it. Please follow us, like and subscribe wherever you listen to this stuff. If you have any suggestions or ideas, you can email us. There's links on this website. We'll have the sources on the website as well. It was mostly San Diego Union-Tribune, Los Angeles Times, hour-long documentary called Cul-de-sac. And am I missing anything? I probably am, but I will have all the notes, like I said, in the notes of the podcast. And
notes for show notes.
But yeah, that said, keep climbing, everybody.
Okay. Thank you for listening, lovelies. So stay safe, stay warm, and try your best not to break into a place shirtless and steal a tank.
Mm-hmm. But if you do steal a tank, make sure that you're 100% shirtless. If you do steal one.
Or Porky Piglet. That's also acceptable.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, yeah, that's actually real. Like if somebody was in a high-speed chase and then they got out and they were Porky Pigged, I'd be like upset.
Oh.
Well, seems like a good way to end it.
Are you gonna say goodbye or?
Oh yeah. And you know what? And happy trails, y'all.
Yay!
Yay! Recording ceased.
Recording has stopped.
Recording terminated.
Oh, the card was full. That's okay though. We got it here.
God damn it.